What's up guys, DuArktik with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are back to talk about the Incursion raid. This time we're going to talk about the Mystic section, which is a section that is not as easy as people are expecting. And it seems that my video from a few months ago asking if this is the end of the Mystic raids, if it seems like it's turning out to be true. And from my perspective, in my opinion, I think we are going to get a legendary Mystic raid with Eternals. I think the Eternals, they are going to make some deal with Mephisto, and based on that we'll have a new legendary that is Eternal, and that's going to be the Mystic team. But that's going to be something for the future. Right now we're going to take a look at the gameplay of the characters that we have available and see what are we struggling with and which characters you should invest for the future for these Incursion raids, because these Incursion raids, they are tied with more gear tier 17, with more gear tier 18 that you need for both Apocalypse and also for the upcoming Dark Dimension 6, where you'll be able to obtain a Super Scroll. So as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button like a boss. Okay, let's get started. So we're gonna take a look at the gameplay first, and then we are going to circle back into the roster and see which characters we can use right now in order to beat this challenge. So let's get started. Okay, so we are about to get started. Before that, daily reminder of checking out the channel for new videos. We already have the nodes for, we don't have the nodes, we have the order of the nodes for Dark Dimension 6. Make sure you check out that video. It also teaches you how to use the Dark Dimension 6 planner on marvelstrikeforce.com. And we have the strategy for the tech nodes for you to one-shot the tech nodes on this new Incursion raid. And tomorrow we are going to also have a new strategy for those tech nodes. Make sure you check out tomorrow for that new video and new strategy on those nodes. Okay, so with that said, let's get started. Let's take a look at these new raids, Mystic nodes. And like I said, this is going to be quite of a problem because, yeah, some of these characters do not work the same way that it worked in the past. So Cloak and Dagger, they can no longer apply blind to the enemies. So that's going to be a huge deal. We have to find different solutions to deal with this problem. Of course, I already found a solution, at least for me. But we have to talk about which characters we are going to invest going forward, because as you increase the difficulty, most of these teams are not going to be reliable anymore. So on the first node, I still wanted to take new warriors, even that we cannot apply the blind. But I wanted to test the turn rewind from Cloak, because that's very important. And this is why you should use your Cloak as a striker now, because with the striker isolate, you can multiple times turn rewind a specific target. So in this specific case, I'm going to turn rewind the enemy Spider Weaver by 30% because of the striker isolate. Okay, so now we are going to go with Dagger. We are going to finish off that Spider Weaver. And that's pretty much it. So far the new warriors and the Eternals are doing just fine, but you'll see that on the second node we might have some problems with the enemies that we are facing. Okay, now we have multiple Nakias. We have Cersei. You're gonna stun that Cersei. And the Ghost Rider here, you don't have to worry too much about him because he doesn't do a lot of damage. With Deathpool, you need to charge up our ultimate. And I'm not sure if you want to bring Gwenpool here to charge faster. It could be a possibility, but it's something that we have to take into consideration, because there are multiple Spider Weavers, and if you cannot stop those Spider Weavers, the only way to deal with that is the charges from Deathpool. Okay, so we are just getting ready on our cooldowns, and yeah, that was the first node. So Cloak and Dagger, just based on the turn rewind alone, they are still quite helpful in raids, even that they are not able to apply the blind. Okay, so now we are going to go for the second node, and here we are going to change the team a little bit because of those gambits, and we have to reduce the accuracy of the enemies, otherwise the gambits are going to destroy you. In the past, you could use, for example, Dormammu with the revives to keep your team alive, but that's not the case anymore. You need to change the team and use Spider Weaver ultimate and special to charge her up, so after the Gambits will fail their attacks, otherwise your team is going to get destroyed. So instead of Cloak and Dagger, we're gonna take Spider Weaver and Morgan Le Fay. Is Morgan Le Fay the best option? I don't know, it's what I use it. But yeah, the combination of Morgan Le Fay and the Eternals is not great, because the Eternals, they don't apply negative effects to the enemies. So what I think is going to be the best option is to make Spider Weaver a striker, so after Morgan Le Fay can spread the negative effects from Spider Weaver. I don't know yet, we have to find a proper solution, but yes, you definitely need Spider Weaver here, or otherwise the Gambits are going to destroy you. So you can see my Cersei was already getting destroyed. My Cersei is level like 92 or 93, and those Gambits, they're really slapping very hard. So of course you want to get rid of them as fast as possible, and yeah, you don't want to play around with these Gambits. On top of that, you also have the Squirrel Girl, you also have Captain Sam, you have Black Bolt, so the Mystic section is definitely not easy. We have extremely powerful characters, but if you don't play this properly, you are going to die here quite a lot. Okay, so we are going to try to finish off that Captain Sam before he goes. Then we have a second Squirrel Girl. Once again, we have to pay attention to these, because these Squirrel Girls, they can clear negative effects away. So even if you are bringing here Cloak and Dagger, their negative effects won't do much, because once again of Squirrel Girl and other characters that can clear negative effects away. Okay, so we are shutting down that Squirrel Girl. Another character that we could possibly use here would be Quicksilver. So maybe tomorrow I will try Quicksilver instead of Morgan Le Fay. Because yeah, unfortunately we don't have many slots to play around with. We need Deadpool, we need Spider Weaver, we kinda need Eternals. Like, I don't see other options. The Turning Wind from Eternals is way stronger than the Turning Wind from Cloak and Dagger, but at the same time we are getting slapped really hard. And once again, I feel like Quicksilver maybe is going to be more helpful here than Morgan Le Fay. If that will be the case, of course, in the next few days we'll have new videos on that to make sure that we have the team set it up as best as possible, so we can keep climbing these difficulties on the Incursion raid. Okay, that's the last target. We have one last deadlock. And yes, even that you need Spider Weaver to counter the Gambits, unfortunately Spider Weaver is not able to counter Deadlock's special, at least. Okay, that was the second node. Now let's take a look at the third node and see what we're going to be able to do. Once again, we can use Morgan Le Fay. We have a few other options. I think Quicksilver is going to be the best option. And then you just have to balance out the amount of vulnerabilities you have on your team. So maybe consider doing like me and using your Deadpool as a skirmisher and Spider Weaver as a skirmisher as well, because of that. Okay, so as you can see, like on this boss node of the Mystic lane, Kang shows up and Kang goes first. The special from Morgan Le Fay here seems to be extremely important, but at the same time the Eternals are not doing anything, and Kang went again. Like, Kang is really destroying you, applying defense downs, applying all these negative effects. My Deadpool barely survived. You can see that I was getting extremely destroyed. So maybe we have to use Hela here. Maybe that's the solution, is to use Hela here and get some additional turning winds on the enemies. With Deadpool, we were able to one-shot that gigantic Kang that the enemies have. Some of the enemies have like special abilities that are not the ones we are used to, so that's why the Kang was going so fast, because he has these special abilities. Whenever you see a character with like smoke animations, they are special characters. They are like boss characters that you have to pay attention to. Okay, so now once again we have the things pretty much organized. We have Mr. Negative is not a big deal. We have multiple Psylocks. We have to pay attention to those because yeah, Psylocke, you don't want her to throw all the negative effects in your face. So now you're going to turn rewind the the enemies once again. What I feel that we are missing here is slows, it's negative effects. And that's why I think that Quicksilver would be nice, because you can use Quicksilver special and then use Deadpool special. Otherwise, you can see we don't have a lot of negative effects to spread around. Now we were able to apply some slows with Morgan Le Fay. We finally have the ultimate ready to go. More turn rewinds on the enemies. We're going to use the special of Icarus to remove those positive effects and do some extra damage to absorbing mana. A lot of enemies on the field at the same time. Double Mr. Negative. So yeah, this is definitely tough. This is definitely not a free win. And now at the same time we have Icarus and Cersei. So you want to get rid at least of one of them. I would prefer first Cersei, because she's the one that is flipping the negative effects, right? And Icarus, like, he can do some damage to us, but it shouldn't be a big deal. Once again, this is going to get a lot tougher as you're going up in the difficulties, and this is why we need to find out which are going to be the best characters to invest in. Otherwise, we are definitely gonna struggle here. Okay, so Icarus with a big attack. Didn't do a lot of damage because once again Cersei is already gone. We have Absorbing Mana having his abilities ready to go, but Icarus is able to stop him. And there we go. So that was the Mystic boss node and all the other nodes before. So now let's talk about which characters you should invest in and have into consideration in order for you to be successful on this Incursion raid. Okay, so as we speak, we just hit 100% on the Incursion raid. Easy mode, kinda, not really. But yeah, we finished it up with 2 or 3 hours left. So let's take a look at those Mystic characters and see what we should be getting up as high as possible so we can deal with these extra difficulties on the Mystic section of the Incursion raids. Okay, so we have a lot of new characters coming up soon. We have Infinity Watch Thor, or Infinity War Thor, not something I would recommend. Now, what I recommend is Spider Weaver. As you guys saw, Spider Weaver extremely important, and the second node, it's probably almost impossible without Spider Weaver. So you definitely want to get up Spider Weaver for these Incursion raids. In the next videos, we are going to talk about Doctor Doom on the Incursion raids. On the Mystic section, we'll talk about that. I'm not going to stay in this video with that now. But yeah, so if Spider Weaver is one of the characters you need, the other character is going to be Deadpool as well. Deadpool seems to be extremely important for you to spread negative effects to the enemies. Very, very important. And that finishing attack with their ultimate is extremely important whenever you find that boss on the last node, that Super Kang, Kanging is even stronger than usual. It's literally insane. Okay, so beyond that, we have characters that are quite remarkable here. We have Adam Warlock, we have Silver Surfer, we have Hela, we have a lot of Darkhold characters, but it seems that we are back to the Eternals. Their turning wine is so important that it seems like a must-have function. Now, Morgan Le Fay, she was quite nice. I'm not sure if it's gonna be like must-have or not. There was no specific situation where she was like super useful. I would say actually the opposite. On the boss node specifically, we could have turn rewind the buffs of the enemies with Icarus, and instead we were not able to because Morgan Le Fay, she just went too fast. And I guess you could play with her basic instead of using the ultimate or the special, but yeah, it's definitely not the best option. In terms of Dormammu, it seems like Dormammu is completely off the meta, and the same goes for Cloak and Dagger. I really thought that the new warriors, I mean, they have raid tags. I really thought that with Gwenpool, they were going to be the new raid meta. It does not seem to be the case. So we have to be on the lookout for Quicksilver maybe, and maybe even Hela, and have a combination of these characters in order to tackle these nodes. Once again, in my opinion, like Spider Weaver is definitely must-have, Deadpool is also must-have, and then we just have to figure out what's going to be the next characters. Is it going to be Eternals? Is it going to be Hela? Is it going to be Morgan Le Fay? I don't have the answer right now. I think it's time to ditch Morgan Le Fay, and focus on the Eternals plus Quicksilver. I think that's going to be the best option. Hela is another strong character, but she's so expensive that you'd be better off investing on other characters. But yeah, make sure you stay tuned to the channel on the upcoming days. I will test out some of these characters and see what's going to be the best combination. But fear not, my friend. Make sure you invest on Deadpool and also on Spider-Weaver, because those are guaranteed. And Spider-Weaver, she is amazing for Dark Dimension 6 as well, so you definitely want to start investing on. And especially because the global section is going to be the first section of Dark Dimension 6. So yeah guys, that's going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the Incursion Raids Mystic Session. Which characters should invest in? Once again, in my opinion, guaranteed investment on Spider-Weaver. That one is definitely guaranteed. And it seems like the Eternals are not going anywhere. Are we going to get a full Eternal team in the future? It also seems to be the case, but we are here to see what Scopely is going to bring us. And that's all for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. And if you found the video helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content. And I will catch you guys later.